Welcome to another edition of the Post Game Wrap. I'm Jared Johnson, and Texas Tech Hoops tipped off the 24-25 season, year two of head coach Grant McCasland's tenure here in Raiderland with a nice victory, 94-61 at home over Bethune-Cookman. And a couple of things stood out to me about this game. One is just the injuries. Tech was down to, I believe, 7 players, or they'd only played 7 players at one point. They had a couple of guys who aren't expected to play a whole lot at the end of the bench who got in late, but they played the bulk of the game with 7 players because several guys were out, including Elijah Hawkins, the transfer point guard from Minnesota, Christian Anderson, a freshman who a lot is expected of, those guys were missing for sure, but those guys are listed as day-to-day in terms of the injury report released by Texas Tech. So, we'll see if they play in the next game, or hopefully they get in one of these games in the 4-game homestand, before they go to New York or Brooklyn. So the other thing that stood out, obviously, is the three-point shooting. And McCasland said, look, this is going to be a good three-point shooting team. And knowing the guys they had coming back, some guys they added, that was expected. And, boy, they had a big, big night. They tied the school record 16 threes. They finished 16 of 30, so over 50% shooting from deep. And it was the usual suspects. I mean, Kerwin Walton hit 7 of 12 from deep, and he had a good all-around game. He led the team in scoring with 21 points, but he also contributed 4 rebounds. And, hustled, did a good job diving on the floor for a couple loose balls, got a couple steals. So he looked good. JT Toppin, he even got in the mix with one. He made one of his 2 3-point attempts, but he had a good game with 19 points, 8 rebounds. And Darion Williams, the guy's just a stud, 17 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. That's his game in a nutshell. He does a little bit of everything, whatever Texas Tech seems to need. Chance McMillan also made 4 threes. Darion made 2 of 4. Chance had 17 points. So, really nice performance for all those guys. Kevin Overton, new transfer guard, he had 10 points. He made 1 of 4 3-point attempts. But he had a pretty good game overall as well, showed that athleticism and size and his game. So, just an all-around good performance. The other thing that stood out was, and this is something that Mighty Joe and I talked about in the video a couple of days ago, is that we really expect Texas Tech to be a good rebounding team. And, boy, they showed that against Bethune-Cookman. Texas Tech out-rebounded them, is that right, by 23, 44-21. That's just total domination of the glass. And I don't expect that kind of domination, but I do expect Texas Tech to be a superior rebounding team. And, boy, the first game really showed that. So, coming up next, Texas Tech plays Northwestern State. And, this non-conference isn't crazy, but Northwestern State has been in the tournament a couple of years. I remember them being in years past. Tech will be heavily favored again. And it's just a nice tune-up before you get into some of your non-conference tournaments. And then, of course, the Big 12 gauntlet, which is going to be crazy. Perhaps the toughest the Big 12 has ever been with the new additions. So, JT Toppin, just some other thoughts from the game. JT Toppin looked like who we expected him to be, a very gifted scorer, just dominant rebounder. I didn't even mention Federico. He had a couple blocks, a couple dunks, played his role. What else am I missing? I was very impressed by Kerwin. Chance looked good. Darion Williams is dominant. I mean, this is what you expect from Texas Tech, the caliber program it is at home, to win by 33 against this opponent. And the injuries, that sucks, but at least it doesn't sound like most of them are serious. Enli Yalaho also is out, and he's supposed to be miss an extended period of time. So you were shorthanded, but you really weren't because you still had a lot of firepower, and you brought it to bear, and it was an impressive opening game performance. Great way to tip off the season. I was really impressed with the way Grant McCasland, one of the posters on the board, mentioned it, that, man, he seems really intense during like a sideline interview. He was intense throughout the game, it seemed like. really getting after his players, imploring them, screaming at them to play defense. Which, I mean, that's at least half the battle of basketball coaching, and certainly in the college game. But all in all, I think we have to say really good performance in the opener. Oh, one more thing. It was really good to see Devin Cambridge, who, of course, towards ACL last year, missed all of conference play a lot of the year. It's good to see him back in. I think he even made a three. Yeah, he did. He made a three. He had 5 points and 7 rebounds, and his athleticism showed up. There was an alley-oop. It looked like he was going to get, but it was an errant pass on a break. But a couple steals, 7 rebounds, 5 points. Really, that athleticism, some more size, help on the boards, and man, if he does nothing but that the whole season, he would be a great addition for Texas Tech. Getting him back from injury, it was just good for him to see him out there. But that's going to do it. Texas Tech 94, Bethune-Cookman 61. Thank you for watching, and until next time.